Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another live stream of Monster vs. Monster on the D&D CR Exposed YouTube channel. This week we're looking at another setup of monsters that was recommended in the Discord channel from one of the members there. And this week we're looking at devils versus demons. And let's jump right into the live stream. Hello there, Josian. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. We're just about to jump into the live scene here right now. If you're new to the channel and new to this live stream, which is only really a week old, this is like the second time I'm doing it, we are pitting monsters versus monsters. Last week we looked at orcs versus kobolds, which was laughably funny considering the action economy of the kobolds and the lack of hit points for the orcs. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend checking it out. I will probably put a card in later on, right about here, for those that may not have seen it already. But this week we're looking at, like I said, devils versus demons, and as you'll see up top here, we have our KO count for both sides, something for a little fun here. And on the left side, we have our demons. We have the, what was it, a spined devil? I can't remember. Let's see here, what we got. Yes, a spined devil by the name of Oranor, a chain devil by the name of Algren. Some of the monsters here are going to have some different artwork on the tokens as opposed to the customary D&D tokens. The special artwork are from a person by the name of Trash Mob Minis. I don't really know his actual name, but he does really amazing paper minis that you can print out, cut, and use at your table. And I've been a patron of his for quite some time, so I've started using his artwork as tokens here for the game since I don't really get to play at the table anymore. It's all virtual. And then we also have, like I said, the chain devil here, which we're going to assume there are chains on the ground for the use of this monster. Ah, excellent. Thank you, Josian. I will just continue chatting away, and if you have any questions, feel free to jump right in. So we're going to assume that there are chains on the ground for a chain devil, even though there aren't chains laying around. I mean, we are looking at one heck of a fiery pit down here with a bunch of tubes and pipes, so we can assume there are probably chains on the ground. And then we also have the, what we have, I don't remember this one. Oh, a barbed devil. Yes, there we go. A barbed devil by the name of Thosgozag. And then lastly, we have the bearded devil, which is a rather unique looking version of the bearded devil with more tentacles than the spiked barbed ones we're used to seeing. And this bearded devil is by the name of Dagthath. And then over on our right side, we have the demons. Now, we all know, or at least this should more or less look like a Balgura. This is Trash Mob Mini's version of a Balguro. There was two versions in the printout, so I went with this one because it was a little cooler looking. And the Balguro's name is Tog Thamal. Then we have a Vrak by the name of Zalmuk. I just had its name. A Kazmi, there we go. A Kazmi by the name of Zurag. And then this little fellow down here, a Quasit by the name of Gurgrunnuch. So, interesting spread. We've got all medium-sized devils on the left and a bunch of big, large demon boys on the right with one tiny little Quasit demon. And, if you're also wondering what the map is from Chezenpeku. Again, I still don't know how to pronounce the one person's name, CZE. So, if anyone can help me pronounce that, that would be fantastic. But this is their... It's not necessarily a level of hell, but it was the closest thing I could find. So, it looks like we've got some massive demons or maybe fire elementals on the side. Who knows? Maybe maybe the plane of fire abducted these devils and demons and said, "All right, you're going to fight in this arena battle for our amusement." So there's a whole bunch of, looks like fire demons or fire elementals sitting about. Actually, what was it? The fire djinn there. Yeah, maybe there's some fire djinn, and they've abducted these demons and devils for the fun of it. Okay, and with the intros out of the way, why not just jump right into battle here? So let's go ahead and throw our monsters into combat. So I will get that going here. We have our devils added, and then we also have our demons added as well. In just a moment, I am switching to something real quick. And here we go. All right, so we have all 8 of our combatants here. Of course, we do have a fire pit in the middle, so if any of them were to fall into the, molten lava or, intense burning, they'll probably end up dying. For intense purposes, they probably won't take any damage flying over top. So aerial combat should be fun if any of our monsters are going to be flying, such as the Vrock, the Chasme, maybe the Quasit, or the Spined Devil. All right. And let's begin round 1 of combat. So we'll go ahead and roll all of our d20s for the monsters in one shot. And we've got a pretty good spread here. Okay. So our first to go is going to be Zurag the Chasme. And let's see, what can Zurag do with a 60-foot fly speed? Well, I was hoping Zurag would be able to go first because they've got the ability to drone, and anything within 30 feet of them will have to take a DC 12 Constitution save or go unconscious. So let's move our combat tracker out of the way here and go ahead and grab Zurag. So Zurag's going to go and start moving up into the air, and we'll say, just for the heck of it, we'll go with 15 feet up and starts moving out. Pythagorally in a ways, and goes out 60 feet, which should be more or less enough to get over to our monsters here. And let's see what do we have for range. Perfect. Zurag's going to fly over and try and use the drone ability on everyone next, on this side as everyone's figuring out their methods of attack. Zurag says, I got this. I'm going to go over and drone them to sleep, and then you guys come over and get advantage. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to take his abilities. Do I have anything set up for that? Doesn't look like I do. I don't have a click feature for that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and throw down the drone, which doesn't look like it's doing anything, unfortunately. All right. Well then, because it's a 30-foot range... right? Creature that starts its turn within 30 feet of the Chasme. Okay, so the Chasme is just going to kind of hang out there and do their droning ability and go on a dodge action, actually. We'll put them on dodge. That way... Oh, I gave everyone else dodge by accident. There we go. In case someone decides to attack Zurag, he's just going to sit there and drone away with his buzzing wings and try to drone them to sleep. Oop, and I always do that. There we go. All right, so Zurag has taken their turn, and now we'll move on to Dagthath. Dagthath starts their turn next to the Chasme and must make a Constitution save, I believe? Yes, a Constitution saving throw, or fall unconscious for 10 minutes. This could be terrible. All right, so Dagthath must make a Constitution save, which luckily they are proficient in, and we'll see what happens against a DC of 12. Oh, easily avoids the buzzingness of the Chasme and decides, well, can't really fly, so our bearded devil is going to start moving over towards the other demons on the right side there. So let's see here. We'll go 20 feet there, go an additional 30 feet to there, and we don't have anything that allow him to get attacks in out in the distance. So more than likely, we're going to have to just go into a dodge state for him. Okay, so that ends Dagthath's turn. Next we have Thaw's Gozag, and more or less, let's see here, also within 30 feet, so he'll have to make a Constitution save as well. And let's see here, Constitution doesn't have advantage on it or proficient, so we'll see what happens. Ooh, only a 6 And unfortunately, Thawzag goes unconscious. So let me pull up my unconscious state here. And I will throw that... Well, throw it on him, and then I'll throw it down into my action bar here. Come on. There we go. And unfortunately, Thawzag falls unconscious. So, that is pretty much the end of their turn. Just to verify. Starts at the turn, 30 feet of the chasm. Creature that can't hear. Alright, so... If a creature's saving throw is successful... effects of the creature ends if it takes damage or if another creature takes an action to splash it with holy water. Okay, so... More than likely our demons and devils really won't care about attacking the other ones, so... If need be, they'll have to go and do that. We'll see what happens. Hey, some D&D lover. What do you mean, which app is this? Are you talking about the program I'm using? This is Foundry VTT. I love Foundry. It is so much better than Roll20, and you just pay for it once, and you've got so much modding and whatnot available. Highly recommend Foundry if you're not using it. Okay, so Thawzag, unfortunately, is unconscious, and we move on to Algren. Algren, our Chain Devil. Let's see, what can our Chain Devil do? Well, have a chain. They can attack, well, since it's technically a female, the artwork's female, we'll say her. She could almost attack with the chains, but the chain only has a 10-foot reach. So we're not going to be able to do that. And it looks like Algren's going to have to start making their way over to the... her way over to the demons as well. Since our, Chasmi is flying above the fire pit 15 feet. And there's not much else she can do. So she's just going to move up 30 feet as well to Dagthath. Maybe stay a little bit off to the side. And go on... Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll leave that to the Spine Devil. The Spine Devil... Nah, no. Never mind. We'll back up and say... Seeing that Thawzag has fallen asleep, they're devils, they're probably a little selfish. Yeah, she's just going to move off on her own. We'll see what happens if there's any way to get him awake later on. Okay, and our Chain Devil will also go on to a dodge action for any incomings from the demons that haven't gone yet. And speaking of demons, up next is Tog Thamal. You're very welcome, some D&D lover. And Tog Thamal, our, what was it? Balgura, a CR5 monster, or demon we should say, has a couple things. Can innate spellcast, so we could do invisibility if we wanted to get advantage. We could also do entangle or phantasmal force. Those seem a little out of, pointless at the moment. The invisibility could be beneficial, but what's the movement range? Our movement is 40 feet and climbing 40 feet. So we could climb up to the top if we wanted to. We could also move about a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to say we're going to go invis. Let's go use invisibility here. So for his action, he's going to go invisible, which I'm going to denote by saying that there, as well as giving any kind of bonuses. And then we're going to have him move, climb up the ramp, and then do a little bit more moving. So we'll go 10 feet to here. Looks like that's going to be, 10, 20 feet up to there. So that will be 10, 20 feet, and then an additional 30 feet. So all in all, our Balgura has run up. There's a little bit of, rocks and whatnot falling as the Balgura just kind of easily leaps and jumps, maybe hits the wall once, moves up to the top of the ramp, and then starts moving down to come attack some of the devils on our side here. So that is it for our Balgura's turn. Next we move to Aranor, our Spined Devil. Spine Devil, right? Yes, the Spine Devil. And then the other one is a barbed? Okay, confusing. All right, so we do have a flyer finally, being our Spine Devil here. And the Spine Devil can move, 40 feet? Perfect. Has limited spines with a total of 12, but could move in if need be. We don't really want to do that for the sake of this, so we're going to have him fly up 15 feet into the air. Just going to start taking off, maybe move up a little bit to here, and start attacking the Chasmi. So, let's see here. It can make 2 attacks, one with its bite and one with its forks, or 2 tail spines. So we're going to go ahead, target Zurag, and go with 2 tail spine attacks. So the first attack, let's see what we get here. At disadvantage, we still hit with a 20. Wow, did we get double 20s? Wow, the Spine Devil rolled double 20s. Holy cow. Even at disadvantage with the dodge action for a total of 13 points of damage. Oof, that is a heavy hit for the first spine. Wow, okay. Next up will be the second attack, again, against the Chasmi here, who is droning away. And, of course, I forgot to check... well, because of angles, I'm going to say our Spine Devil wasn't far enough away. And I didn't check for Algren either. So we're going to back up real quick and just double check Constitution for her and see if she passed or not. Okay. She passes, no problem, and can move on to where she is, so we don't have to retroact anything for Algren. Alright, so last we will finish off the last tail spine attack with our Spine Devil here, Orinor, and see what happens. One more attack, and unfortunately, it looks like we miss with a 12 against Zurag, who has an AC of 15. Okay, so that ends Orinor's turn. They've only moved, what, 10 feet? We'll have them move maybe another few feet over here and say they go up to 25 feet just for the heck of it. So they're 25 feet up in the air. Okay, that ends Orinor's turn. And next we have Zalmuk. Zalmuk decides, what is Zalmuk going to do? As of rock, what can they do? Well, they have their spores, which can poison a whole bunch of things, which would be fun. What else could we do? Stunning Screech. We could do that. What else do we want to do here? Creatures within 20 feet must make a con save or be stunned. Not necessarily helpful right now. Although stunned is always good, but it's a one-shot use. We could fly over and do the spores attack as well. Or just go right into melee attacks. Because we can't reach the flyer. It's too far away. So Zalmuk could fly up and over and then land probably right next to Dagthath, excuse me, and do some multi-attacks. One with its beak and one with its talons. Probably the best bet for now. So Zalmuk's going to go and do that. So let's see here. Oh, can he reach it? Doesn't look like it. It's 45 feet and their movement is 60 feet. Okay, so yeah, totally. Flies up and over and lands next to Dagthath. Just hops over the flame and comes in for an attack. Alright, so let's see what we got going here against Dagthath. Zalmuk goes in for the bite attack, I believe it was. Let's see here. One time, beak and then talons. So I don't believe there's any difference in those. So yeah, Zalmuk will go in for a bite. Actually, no, because he was flying over, we'll go in for the talon strike first as he's landing against Dagthath. And then goes in for the bite attack. And then, you know, maybe reposition and go in for a screech. Who knows? So, talons first against Dagthath, who is, has the advantage with being on dodge and misses Dagthath with the talons. And then goes in for a beak attack. And let's see if they can hit this time. Oh, doesn't look like it with a 2, followed up with a total of 8 to hit. And totally misses Dagthath both times. And that will end Zalmuk's turn. Last, and certainly least, we have the Quasit. Gurgrunnuch. I just love that name. Such a big name for such a little critter here. So, what is our Quasit going to do? Our Quasit could, I believe, fly if we were in the correct form. But it can also go invisible. Let's see here. Shape changer. What has it got? It's got a bat, centipede, toad, and swim. Swim is a toad, so it can do bat, centipede, or toad to either fly, climb, or swim if need be. And the bite is only in beast form, so as its action, it's going to polymorph into a bat to start flying around. And we'll just say with the move action, it's going to start hovering 20 feet over the ground. So unfortunately, our little Quasit can't really do too terribly much. We'll say in preps for the next round, you know, he'll be over here. Sir Gurgrunach. I like the Sir part. It's just funnier that way. And unfortunately, that ends round 1. With a little bit of damage to our Casmi from our Spine Devil, we have, you know, an invisible Balgura, a couple melee attacks from our Vrock to the Bearded Devil, which should get interesting for round 2. And we have a Barbed Devil basically asleep. Okay. Everyone else, these two are immune to the drone effect now that they've passed it, and we still have Orinar that hasn't had a chance to be affected by it, but now that they're up in the air, probably next round they're going to have to make a save. And I shouldn't have moved that. Alright, let's go into round 2. Up next is Zurag, who's going to reposition and actually fly after Orinar. So they're going to fly up another 10 feet to, no, not 20. Can I do +5? Yeah, I can do +5. Awesome. It's going to fly up here and go and attack Orinar since, you know, they're trading blows for blows and Zurag's a little pissed off about being hit. Casmi is going to fly in and go in for a proboscis attack, which basically is all he can do. Such a big creature, 1 attack. And it's a CR6. That's that drone, man. Oof, that drone is gnarly. Alright, clear the attacks. And Orinar is being attacked with a proboscis attack by Zurag. And unfortunately misses with a 10 and could have done a whole bunch of damage. Oh man, that would have been terrible if it actually hit. Being a 33 here. Okay, that is Zurag's turn, so next we move on to Dagthath, who is immune to the droning. And, well, they've got Zalmuk right here, so may as well start attacking. Okay, so Zalmuk is our target for the Bearded Devil, and knowing that the Bearded Devil, and using them a few times, has a couple different attacks, we're going to go with, I believe it's the Beard first? Or the Glaive. I can never remember which one's the better one to use first. Probably the Beard because of the poisoned effects. So let's go with the Beard, and in this case, our Bearded Devil has, you know, a tentacle face, and goes into Suction Cup and attack with a weird tentacle-faced beard on Zalmuk here. Alright, and the Beard attack goes. We got a 13 to hit with a total of 18. That hits Zalmuk, and Zalmuk is poisoned. Or no, succeeded. Zalmuk succeeded the Constitution save and isn't poisoned, which is good because poison will make everything a disadvantage. Unfortunately, there's no damage there, but Dagthath follows up with a Glaive attack to finish up its round of a one Beard and 1 Glaive attack against Zalmuk. 15 to hit for a total of 20. Dealing 6 points of damage and a successful Constitution save. Ooh, these Constitutions, the saves with our Bearded Devil are rather low. For what CR level is our Bearded Devil? CR3, it's a little under what we should normally have for this kind of a monster. Okay, so successful save, and that means loses hit points. No, all right, so it's not taking any wound, like bleeding wounds and whatnot, which is good to see. Well, for the Vrock anyways. So, next up after we finish that turn there is Thosgozag, who is unconscious, unfortunately, and doesn't get any saves, I don't believe. I'm just going to double check that real quick. Yeah. The Constitution's failed, so they fall unconscious for 10 minutes, and the creature can't hear the drone automatically succeeds the save. Yeah, so, unfortunately, Thosgozag is still unconscious here, and maybe one of the devils will realize this and go in to help? Who knows? We'll see what happens in a little bit here. So that is Thosgozag's turn. They're out, and next we have Algren, who is going to, might as well, since they can't really attack the Chasme up in the air. You know what? Let's see. We're going to assess the situation here. We've got a missing demon, which we know is right here. So the devil's looking around, says, well, everything's pretty even at the moment. We don't look like we're in a bad shape. So she's going to come on over to here and flank with Dagthath. And let's see here. She does have the ability to do the chains, which, like I said before, we are suggesting and just expecting chains to be in the area. Expecting them. So, let's see. What do we have? Oh, I forgot all about the reactions there that the chain devil can do. All right, anyways. So our animated chains recharges on a short or long rest. Up to 4 chains the devil can see within 60 feet of it. Magically sprout razor-edged barbs and animate under the devil's control, provided that the chain... All right, each animated chain is an object. Is an object with AC 20 hit points, so on and so forth. When the devil uses multi-attack on its turn, it can use each animated chain to make 1 additional chain attack. Wow, okay. So we could have up to 4 chains. I will roll a d4 to see how many chains are in the area that our chain devil here is going to get. Oh, I don't want a private roll. It doesn't really matter. So there are 2 extra chains that are animated, or that can be animated. And surprisingly enough, that does take its action to do so. So, unfortunately, that will be Algren's turn. Okay. So she comes around to the other side of Zalmuk, utters some, you know, nasty words to the Vrock and says, oh, the chains are going to get you. And something to that effect anyways. And animates some chains, so now she has up to 4 attacks that she can do on, well, her next turn. All right. Next we have Togthamal, who is invisible right now, and is going to go in for a surprise attack against Algren. Since, you know, why not? Comes in, barrels down, kind of jumps, and lands in a way to basically flank against Algren, which, unfortunately, she doesn't realize she's being flanked. And we'll have the Balgura go in for some attacks at advantage. I mean, they're already invisible, so it doesn't really matter. But, you know, surprise, surprise. Alright, so the Balgura can make 3 attacks, 1 with its bite and 2 with its fists. And we'll go in for the bite attack first, as it, you know, well, yeah, that makes sense. Kind of comes in, lands, bites, and then as it lands, goes and slams a couple fist attacks against Algren here. So, for the first attack, we will have the bite. And hits Algren for a total of 10 points of damage. And now our monster is revealed, losing the invisible status. So I'm going to have to go here. Get rid of invisible. There we go. And then comes in for 2 slam attacks. Well, fists. First hit, oh, fails miserably. And then the second hit. Oh, we have a critical hit here against Algren for a total of 12 points of bludgeoning damage, which, as we can see here, isn't a whole lot of damage. We might be here for a little while. Okay. So Algren is surprised by the fact that she is now flanked herself by 2 demons and is in, you know, maybe a bad state. Who knows? We'll see what happens in a little bit. Next we have Ornar, who is fending off a Chasme here and doing pretty good so far. The first attack was a miss, and we will go in for some attacks. All right. Ornar can, instead of using, obviously we're not going to bother with the tail, the tail spines, so we will go in for the multi-attack of 1 bite and 1 with its fork. All right, so trading blow for blow, we go in for the bite first, which misses with a 5, unfortunately, and then we follow up with a fork attack. And we have an 11, totaling 13, which misses the Chasme again, dealing very low 1 point of damage. Oof, that is low. And that is it for his turn, but he will pivot around. Seeing that there are a bunch of monsters now, he's going to pivot around and maybe going down to wake up Thozgazag at some point. Now that the Tog Thamal here has revealed himself. Alright, round 2, we are almost finished up with Zalmuk's turn, and Zalmuk, being flanked himself, decides to maybe do the Screech, or, you know, we'll do Poisoned. We'll go with the Poisoned Spores, and starts buffeting the wings, and he just unleashes a whole bunch of spores in the area here. Let's get rid of the targeting there, and we're going to target these two for the spore attack. And yeah, we'll do that. Does he actually... Oh, did I do something silly here? Apparently I don't know how to use this. No, it's a 50-foot radius cloud of spores extends from the rock. Oh, interesting. Technically, I would have hit Tog Thamal as well. Okay, so Algren failed. Zalmuk technically failed, but it's his own ability. He shouldn't be taking any damage. Oh yes, he's resistant. So we see here, there's no damage there. It looks like... Oh wow, no one took any damage because it looks like they're all immune to poison. Yeah, they are. So it doesn't really matter. That's funny. Okay. Everyone's immune to poison. So that was a wasted turn for Zalmuk, who, you know, doesn't maybe know devils all that well. Okay. So there is Zalmuk's turn using the poison, and ends his turn. And last up we have Sir Gurgurnuch. Sir Gurgurnuch will go invisible and maybe take advantage of, you know, not knowing any better, maybe go and take advantage of the sleeping Thozgazag. And I also need to make a Constitution save, I just realized. Alright, so let me clear out. I gotta do a quick Constitution save here, otherwise he would have passed out unconscious. And am I okay? No, I'm not okay. Alright, so there was no attacks. And let's see here. So he goes unconscious, falls to the ground. And he would have fallen over here, hit the ground, slid down. So we'll say he was 25 feet up in the air. He'll take 2d6 worth of damage as he's now on the ground. And let's see here. 2d6 for fall. And takes a total of 8 points of damage falling to the ground, which, ironically enough, will probably wake him up, too. So, -8. And we have to make a Constitution save for taking some damage. Nope, fails the Constitution check and is still unconscious, unfortunately. Alright, now we're going back to Sir Gurgurnuch. And he's going to go invisible. That doesn't really matter anyways, but I'm going to go invisible, still 20 feet over the in the sky here, and we'll fly 40 feet over to here. And like I said, it's still going after the barbed devil because he doesn't know any better. He wants to get in some action, and everyone's kind of claimed at the moment. So that ends round 2. We got some good stuff going on here, but still a lot of hit points left. A lot of hit points. And with that, we have... let's see here. Zurag goes first for round 3, and knowing his abilities, he's going to now move away from Orinar and go after Dagthath. Since, you know, 2 of the 4 devils are now unconscious, unfortunately. He lands to come in for the attack against Dagthath, who is unfortunately flanked. And Zalmuk is also flanked at the moment. Okay, so we're going in for the attack against Dagthath here with the Proboscis of Zurag. And Zurag goes in for the attack of 16 plus. Ooh, wow. That is a heavy hit. Oh, goodness. Okay, so the proboscis does a bunch of damage, and the target's hit point maximum is reduced by an amount equal to the necrotic damage taken. Alright, so we need to go in here and modify some hit points here. He took 37 points of damage. Oof. Alright. So, shoot, what was it, 52? So we're going to say minus 37, see if that works, and it does. Okay, so he's left with 15 hit points left, which should be the same amount. Wait, I gotta double check something. All right, our bearded devil normally has a total of 52. He should have taken 30. Yeah, he should be at that. Alright, so 52 minus 37, 15. Yeah, so he'll have 15 hit points left because his hit point maximum was reduced and he loses extra hit points. Okay, that's what I figured. Alright, so let's put this guy at 15 of 15 hit points, unfortunately. Okay, Dagthath is not looking so hot, especially since he got hit with that advantage strike. Looks like our devils might be going down faster than we expected and the demons might have the advantage. Of course, that was one heck of a nasty hit, for sure. Okay. So that's Zurag's turn. Zurag's going to stay there for the flanking bonus for Zalmuk, which, surprisingly, they're working together. And we have Dagthath, who is up now. And what is Dagthath going to do? Well, considering that they're going to die anyways, and they're, we'll say, on the plane of fire, they don't really care about death, and he has nowhere to go anyways, so he's going to continue the assault on Zalmuk since he has advantage there and see if he can do anything worthwhile. So we're going for the beard attack, and it doesn't really matter much because, you know, they're immune to poison anyways, but it is some damage. So poisoned, and just to verify, he is immune to the poisoned damage and the condition as well, so there's no damage there, but we do have 8 piercing damage. Okay. And then we follow up with a glaive attack. And the glaive will go in for, let's see, an 18 plus for a total of 13 points of damage. And we are now, looks like, bleeding. Nope, never mind. No bleed damage. The Constitution score was a success, as we see over here on the right. So no demons dead yet. Top of the round 3. We now move on to Thazgozag, who is still unconscious on the ground here. But with little Sir Gurgranuch coming up for a surprise attack, who knows? Maybe he'll wake up in a little bit. But moving on, we have Algren next, who is also flanked, and they're going to continue the assault on Zalmuk. But Algren now has 4 attacks, which, why not? We're going to have him go all against Zalmuk here to maybe defeat someone. So our Chain Devil has how many attacks? What was it? 2 normally. And we have an additional 2 chains that were animated last turn. And we'll have the reaction used when Tog goes next. So 4 chain attacks come up and start whipping against Zalmuk. And we go 1. And hits for 25, dealing 11 points of damage. Chain number 2. Hits again with a dirty 20. For a total of 15 points of damage. Chain number 3 hits again for 23. And wounds Zalmuk for 23 points of damage. And then the final attack, misses that crit fail and deals an additional 21 points of damage. Our CR8 Chain Devil has done some work here against Zalmuk and almost defeated him in one go. Oh, I missed that message, Josian. Sorry. I see it was retracted. Did I miss something? All right. Let's see here. So moving on, we will go. That is Algren's turn. And for that, we will go to Tog Thamal, who Algren's going to finally use the reaction to cause some fear in Tog. I just want to make sure I get that right. When a creature the devil can see starts its turn within 30 feet of the devil can create an illusion that it looks like one of the creature's departed loved ones or bitter enemies. And if the creature can see that devil, it must succeed on a wisdom save or be frightened until the end of its turn. Alright, so Tog suddenly has some vision of a demon from the 9 levels of hell. that Algren is illusioned in front of him, and now he has to maybe save again, saving against being frightened here. So we need a wisdom save. It was. Let's see here. Can I do it this way? And that was unnerving mask. Yes. Okay. So the unnerving mask against Tog. Tog succeeds with the 17 and brushes off the illusions that Algren tried to use against him, and barrels just this massive scream against Algren and goes in for the attack. Another bite and 2 slam attacks. Not much is going on. We'll just for the sake of having some fun, we'll move Thog down here so we have a little bit of rearranging going on, and goes in for the flank attack. Okay. So we have a bite attack against Algren at advantage for a total of 17 to hit, and deals 13 points of damage, and then 2 fist attacks. Hits again with a 26 and deals 9 more damage, and then finally hits one more time with another 7 points of damage. This guy is just a tank. That's all Balguras really are from the looks of things. This Balgura, it looks fearsome, but is not doing a whole lot. It does have innate spellcasting, which, isn't necessarily going to help in any way here. And we do have the running leap as well that we could use if we wanted. But not much else is going to help out here. Oh, we have advantage for Reckless. Don't need it, though. What do you know? All right. Our Balgura's done, so now we go to Orinar, who is unconscious on the floor, unfortunately. And then we move on to Zalmuk. Zalmuk is wounded, but, doesn't like the position that it's in, considering it is being flanked on both sides. So, is he smart enough to know Intelligence 8, Wisdom 13? Not smart enough to know to disengage, so he's going to fly and try to get out of... Actually, no, we'll go for the Screech first, and then we'll see about that. All right. So he's going to Screech and then see about flying away to stun these two. So we're going to target these two and go in for that stun. All right, stunning Screech. And Algren fails, but Dagthath succeeds. So Algren is stunned for a round. Let me get that condition going on here, which I don't know which one it is at the moment. So I'm not going to waste time looking for it, but go here. Okay, there it is. All right, we will just do this. Stunned condition. Perfect. That will wear off next round. So, now that Zalmuk has screeched, he's going to fly away a little bit to reposition. And we'll say we'll go over to here. And as he's about to fly away, Dagthath goes in for a glaive attack, for an attack of opportunity. And see what happens. Does hit, dealing a good 10 points of damage, and no targets to save. Oh, he misses. Oh, he doesn't hit. Okay, so we don't have to worry about the save then. All right, and Zalmuk flies off without taking any kind of damage, and we'll say he goes up 20 feet into the air, just for the sake of being up high. All right, he is no longer being flanked, and neither are these two. They are no longer flanked either. Okay. A little bit of movement on the battlefield as things go around. Ah, okay, Josian, thank you. All right, last up for the round 3 is Sir Gurgranuch, and Gurgranuch is cackling to himself maniacally and goes in for an attack up against, we'll say over here, against Thosgozag. This is like the dark horse and, the Kentucky Derby or something. Who knows, this is going to do like massive damage, right? So, we'll have him targeted. He's going to get massive advantages here, and just for the sake of remembering what unconscious condition gives, we get, let's see here. Well, obviously we're going to get an advantage for the attack rolls, and the attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet. Perfect. So we get critical damage because they are unconscious, and let's see what we can do for this claw attack. Hey, Herr Doctor, welcome. Return to monkey. Alright, let's get that claw attack against Thosgozag and see what happens. Oh, 20 feet away. Thank you for the reminder, Foundry. Okay, on the ground, going in for that claw attack. I fixed that. Why are you not? There we go. There we are. All right. 17 to hit. Critically hits. And does very little damage because all it can really do is poison. Oh no. So there was success, 24. And how much? We only did 2 points of damage? That's so funny. Oh, but what's even more funny is that because of the poison damage, we only have like a constitution save here of... Anyways, yeah, we got to do a constitution save for Thozgozag because he took 2 points of damage. So Gurgurnooch is just like, yeah, I'm gonna get him, and then does nothing for the attack. Oh, that's really funny. Okay, constitution save. And, passes the save and is now awake thanks to the damage that Gurgurnooch dealt. Alright, so we can get rid of the unconscious state. And we'll be able to act next round. And Sir Gurgurnooch sees that Thozgozag is, oh, we gotta put the prone on him as well. Because they're, oops, what did I do here? Oh, right. Anyways. They're both prone because they're lying on the ground. And Sir Gurgurnooch goes like, oh no! As Thozgozag gets dealt a little bit of damage and then sees what's going on. Alright, round 4. Top of the round, we go back to Zurag, who is now, not flanked, but is going to go in for another hit on Dagthath with the Proboscis. Alright, and everything's set up. Here we go. Proboscis attack. Away! 13 hits with an 18 total, dealing 50 points of damage and kills Dagthath. Dagthath is out of commission. Now we need to take note of that as one of our devils has been defeated. We go from KOs 0 to KO 1. All right. You can see at the top of the screen our scorecards. Okay, so that is Zurag's turn, and Zurag is going to move over to Algren. Oop, too far. And give the flanking condition again. Now that, Zamok has moved on. Alright, next up would have been Dagthath, but he's been defeated because of that Proboscis. And we move on to Thozgozag, who is on the ground, groggy, and waking up finally. So, we will go ahead and remove the prone condition here. And he will stand up for 15 feet of his movement and go in to attack Sir Gurgurnooch. Because, he's been out of commission for 3 rounds and pretty upset about what's going on here. Alright, so we have our Barbed Devil. And the Barbed Devil can, let's see here. Well, obviously Sir Gurgurnooch didn't grapple, so there's no damage there, but does have 3 melee attacks, 1 with its tail and 2 with its claws. Or can hurl flame at ranged if need be. Okay. 1 claw and... Or, no, excuse me, 1 tail and 2 claws. So, 1 tail against Gurgurnooch. Hits with a 17 total, dealing 12 points of damage, and wounds Gurgurnooch, and goes in for the claw attack to probably finish off Gurgurnooch. With a 19 base, they certainly do, wounding and defeating Gurgurnooch. And Thozgozag moves on, sees that one of his devil buddies, well, not really buddies, but has been knocked out, comes over and attacks Orinar with his last attack to try and wake up Orinar with a claw swipe. Oh, wait. Was it any damage? I might have been mistaken here. Oh, any damage. I gotta revert that. Orinar should have been awake already because he fell, took 8 points of falling damage. That's my fault. And Thozgozag didn't need to make a save either. Okay. So he is prone. Koala Squad animations. Isn't demons the only ones that live in the abyss? Let's find out who runs the abyss better. I may be wrong, but I have heard the devils in the nine hells and demons in abyss. I'm not entirely sure. I just kind of threw that in there for the fun of it. I don't know my demons and devils very well, and for the setting, they are currently in some fire domain. They've been abducted by fire elementals, so that's what we're doing here in this little area for the fun of it. I can always update that later too, but thank you for mentioning that, Koala. Silly me. All right, we'll remove that, and we'll get rid of the unconscious state for him because he is not unconscious anymore. Shouldn't have been anyways because he fell and took damage. Oh well, free round for the demons. So that was what, 1, 2, 3. We'll go here for now since there's no. Actually, no, he could do one more. And get into flanking. No, he can't move one more. Never mind. We won't get flanking, technically. Okay. We'll move on to Algren, who is still flanked. And could pretty much hit anyone she wanted to moving around here. So she's going to... Actually, that's 20 feet up, so she can't get to him. So he's going to attack Zurag, since Zurag seems to be the bigger threat. Alright. Algren's going in for 4 chain attacks against Zurag. Try to defeat this Kazmi. And hits with a 15, dealing 13 points of damage for the first chain. Second chain, 16 base. Hits, we have a 24, wounding the Kazmi. Third chain attack, since we have 4 in total. Almost a 20. Oh, almost a 20. Another 15 points of damage. There probably is, Josie, and I wouldn't be surprised. And then one final attack from Algren here. One chain, can she take out Zurag? Ooh, didn't. If she got the crit, maybe. But misses with that final attack. But dealt a mighty blow. Okay, up next, once again, we have Tog Thamal, excuse me. And now that her turn's up again, she's going to try and spook. She's going to try and spook him. It's a reaction, and I don't think they get a save. Do they get a save to that? I got to check that again. The reaction. Where are you hiding? Unnerving Mask. Oh yeah, it's just a one-turn frighten. So yeah, she's going to use the reaction to frighten him once more. See if she can get that, you know, that fear in that Balrog's eyes. Or no, better off using it against Zurag if he survives. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We're going to skip that, the fear, and she'll save it for a heavier hitter like Zurag. Okay. Tog Thamal's going in for the attacks. Algren is flanked, and we have 1 bite and 2 fists against Algren. And we got a miss for that one, and then we go in for a fist attack. Hits with a 19, dealing 7 points of damage, and then another final attack here, hits with another 17, and we have 11 more points of damage. Algren is holding out really well. Hasn't even been bloodied yet with average hit points. I am pleasantly surprised. And I also forgot to update that our demons lost someone. The Quasit was defeated. So there we go. We are now 1 for 1 here in round 4. Okay. Tog Thamal's turns are done. So next we go to Ornar, who is on the ground. Will get up and start flying, I guess. And let's see here. How far can Ornar go? Whoops. What do we got here? Wasn't there a war between dragons and giants? That probably at one point there was. Okay, so that was what? 20 feet to get up and a total of 60 feet, or 10 feet to get up. So we'll take 10 off of the fly, and he can move up to 60. And you know it's going to go after Zalmuk here. Get pretty close and throw a couple spines up. So we'll go 20 feet up into the air, targets Zalmuk for ranged attacks, and goes in for the spines. Okay, spine number 1 against Zalmuk, since Zalmuk's almost defeated. Misses. Could have done 7 points of damage, and goes for a second spine attack. Ooh, that's a big hit, almost a 20. 12 points of damage, and Zalmuk is holding on with just a few more hit points left. Let's see what happens next with Zalmuk, whose turn is up. And seeing that there's a flyer up, and let's see, Ornar had used 4 spine attacks. We have 8 left. He's going to come in and return the favor with a couple attacks. Okay. We have the Talons, screeches in with a Talon. And looks like that's a miss with a 12. And then goes in for a bite attack as the claws miss to hit. But the beak does catch him offside. And wounds Ornar pretty heavily. Okay. These two are fighting out in the air just above our ground combatants. And we end round 4 as Sir Gurgurnuch has been defeated. Top of round 5, we have Zurag. And because it is his turn, and he's still alive, Zurag is going to be targeted with the fear effects from Algren, who is going to use the unnerving mask that she removes briefly to throw some visions in front of Zurag's face. And Zurag fails with a 10. Zurag is now frightened. Alright. So, he doesn't have to move. Zurag doesn't need to move. But he can still attack Algren just at regular because he's flanking Algren with Tog-Thamil. But the Frighten makes the attacks at disadvantage. So, he's going to go in and still try to attack Algren even though Algren has feared him. And tries to hit with a proboscis attack. Should be at regular. Standard attack. And it's a 5, which misses and could have done 37 points of damage. Whoa. Okay. Feared. Will Zurag move? No, it doesn't need to run away. It doesn't have to, but can't get any closer. So Zurag's going to hang out there, and the fear will end at the end of his turn. So the fear should be gone now. Or is it the end of her turn? I can't remember. Chain Devil. Let's see here. Oh, yes, at the end of its turn. Okay, so the fear is now gone. We'll just come in here and remove that frightened condition. Okay. Very good. Dagthath has been defeated. Next we have Thosgozag. And Thosgozag is going to move in. We're just going to push Dagthath out of the way. And he's going to come up and flank Zurag, since Zurag didn't move. Okay. So Thosgozag is going to go in for a tail attack and then 2 claws against Zurag. And we get, not very good. Misses, unfortunately, with the tail attack. But we do have 2 claw attacks. And we hit with a 15 for 6 points of total damage. And a second claw attack for the 3rd attack of the round. And deals another 9 points of damage. Zurag is not looking so hot. Not looking so hot. Okay, that is Thosgozag's turn. And we come up to Algren, who is still flanked and was stunned. Oh, can't use the reaction. Shoot. My bad. Okay. No reactions while stunned, right? Or can they use reactions? Let me see here. Forgot all about that stunned condition. Incapacitated, which means can't take actions or reactions. Okay, so Zurag gets 1 more attack against Algren real quick because shouldn't have had that reaction. All right, let's see what happens here. 1 more attack with the proboscis. That was a crit and dealt 79 points of damage to Algren. Oh, buddy. That was a come from behind attack. Ouch. Okay, so we have now lost 2 of our devils. And we are just down to Thosgozag and Ornar left. Looks like the demons are coming out ahead because of Zurag's massive proboscis attack. Yikes. Okay. Well then, with that retraction and retroaction active attack there, our Chain Devil unfortunately is defeated and the animated chains fall down to the ground limp. And that is Algren's turn. Tog-Thamil, seeing what's going on here, we're just going to push Dagthath over here, does one of the crazy giant standing leap, jumps over to flank Thosgozag. And let's see here. So we have the feature of running leap. Let's see, the long jump is 40 feet high, and it's 20 feet, up to 40 feet, and can jump 20 feet. High jump. Okay, excuse me. Long jump 40. Yeah, thematically, it's gonna look pretty cool. We're gonna do like a quick long standing jump, and he's gonna jump over to here and flank Thozgozag. Okay. So Thozgozag is flanked, and Zurag is no longer flanked, and Tog Thamal is going to go in for the attacks. As Tog comes down, he's going to go in for we'll punch Thozgozag in the air as he's landing, goes in for a punch attack first, and hits with a 24, dealing 10 points of damage, followed up by a bite, and then a fist attack. Let's see what we get. Well, we have a critical hit, and the crit lands for 25 points of damage. Oh, but Thozgozag is really holding out with a lot of hit points here. I am shocked. 26 to hit on that last fist attack, dealing 5 points of damage to Thoz. This Quasit, or excuse me, the Kazmi is the one that's doing massive damage here. So let's see what happens next for Orinar's turn. Our two of 4 demons or devils left, excuse me. So we'll get off of that, and we go to attack Zalmuk. Return to monkey. Oh, you're talking about Tog Thamal there, Herr Doctor? Okay. Orinar's going to go in for a couple attacks of a bite and a fork attack against Zalmuk. Let's see if he can take out this demon here. With only 2 points of damage, not much he can do. And goes in for a fork attack and misses with the fork attack. Little by little, but I think the devils are pretty much on the way out, unfortunately. And then we finish off round 5 with our Vrak here. And the Vrak is going to continue flapping its wings and flying in the air, doing this mid-air battle against the spined devil, and goes in for its talons and beak attack. Talons first, reaching out, and hits with a 22. Ah, yes. Okay, thank you, Herr Doctor. Dealing Orinoar 8 points of damage, and then finishes off the round with a beak attack. Ooh, but misses with an 8. And that only could have dealt 9 points of damage. And that ends round 5. Not much else is going on here. Sir Gurgurnuch has been defeated, and we go back to round 6. Top of the round here with Zurag, who's going to attack Thozgozag with advantage. This is not looking good. So we'll get rid of targeting there, and we will target Thoz. And the Kazmi turns around with its wings buzzing. We have the Proboscis attack. At advantage, crits. Oh my god, all the D6s. Look at those D6s go. 74 points of damage. That is obscene. Oh, goodness. If anyone could have taken out this Kazmi, it would have been Algren, our Chain Devil, but unfortunately she's been defeated. Thozgozag has very little hope. Maybe can defeat the Kazmi. We'll see what happens here in a couple seconds. That was Zurag's turn. He's feeling pretty confident about that Proboscis attack, which I forgot reduces hit points, but for the sake of this, no one's healing hit points anyways. So the damage is what the damage is. Okay. And we go on to Thozgozag, who is next up here in the attack, and we'll try to finish off Zurag. And we'll go in for its couple of attacks. So we do, let's see here, just to remind myself, the Barbed Devil can do what? 1 tail and 2 claw attacks. Right. So the tail attack. Swings around, sweeps and hits, and misses with an 8, unfortunately. And then follows up with 2 scratchy claw attacks. And that hits with a 15, dealing 1 point of damage. Actually, excuse me, 4 points of damage, and can possibly finish off. Oh, looks like the Kazmi is finished off with 1 final swipe from Thozgozag. That was an impressive comeback here from our demons. We are now even, 2-2, both sides. A quick update to the scorecard, and we'll see that we are now going on a pretty strong front here. Hey, Clawpaw, how's it going? You are catching us at the top of round 6, as our demons are battling out pretty strong. Thanks for joining, bud. All right, Thozgozag finishes off the Kazmi, who is doing work, just straight up doing work, is no longer flanked, and turns around and starts cackling maniacally at Tog Thamal here. Ah, excellent. We have 2 foxes in the channel. All right. Next up is Tog Thamal, who is going to now just bash away. Return to monkey, as the hair doctor says. And we go in for a couple slam and bite attacks here. First bite hits with a 19 base for a total of 13 points of damage, followed up by a fist attack of a 6, missing with a total 13, and a second fist attack. And that's a critical failure. Unfortunately, I don't have anything for critical failures, so we will just move on. All right, next up is Orinar, who is still holding on. Ah, Soak Soccer, hello, bud. Yes, you are catching the bottom of round 6 here. Round 6, and the score of 2-2, as you can see up top. All right, Orinar is going in and trying to attack the Varrock here, but not doing so hot. Can barely do any kind of damage to him, and goes in for a bite and then a fork attack against the Varrock. Oh, just misses with a 6, as that 18 rolled off, and we go in for a fork attack. Hits with a fork. That Varrock got forked. It does 2 points of damage. This Spine Devil can't do anything against the Varrock. This is sad. And we finish off round 6 with the Varrock attacking the Spine Devil. Once again, we go in for the Talon Strike as the Varrock screeches in but misses horribly with a critical failure, scraping talons against rock, if that's more or less where we're at here, up in the sky, and goes in for a beak attack, maybe finishing off the Spine Devil. Misses once again as this Spine Devil is fighting for its life. Okay, end of round 7. We go to the top of end of round 6, going to the top of round 7. And we have Thosgozag, who is going to start beating and wailing on the big old demon monkey. And we go in for a tail strike as Thosgozag sweeps with its tail and hits with a 19, dealing 12 points of damage. That's a pretty hefty hit, as we can see here, dealing almost 15-20% of its health. Next up, we have 2 claw attacks. We could be seeing the resurgence and comeback of our devils against the demons, now that the big hitters are down. Another 8 points of damage to the Balgarag. Did I say that right? To Tog Thamal. And then lastly, one more strike against Tog. And looks like, ooh, just misses with that second claw strike. Can you smell what the Varrock is cooking? I like that. I like that. Inspiration to you, Hair Doctor. Warning, inspiration awarded here may not be awarded to or followed by your DM. Okay, some work has been done by Thaws, and we move on from Thaws to Tog, who's going to counter attack, yeah, with some attacks of his own. I mean, we are looking at almost critical damage here, but Tog is barely doing anything damage-wise. Going for a bite attack. And hits for 12 points of damage, followed up with a fist. Misses with the fist, and goes in swinging with the other fist. I'm basically a bard right now. That is true. Thank you so much, Hair Doctor. And both fist attacks missed, but the bite did hit. Okay. So that is our ground battles. We go back to the skies with Orinar trying to do some work here, and goes in for a couple goes in for the bite and fork attack against the Varrock. All right. One bite attack. Hits with a total of 17, dealing 6 points of damage. That's a good bite attack, as the spiked devil goes in and just screeches wholeheartedly, trying to do whatever it can, but misses somehow with a fork. You'd figure after a bite attack, and it's so big. Anyways, moving on, we finish off our aerial combat with with Zalmok here, who is going to attack Orinar, maybe finishing the aerial combat. Who knows? Okay, we're going for the Talon Strikes again. Screeching in with a 10 base, total of 16 to hit, and oh, almost. Orinar is holding out with just a few hit points left, and we finish off the attack with a beak. Oh, and misses with the beak attack. That could have been the end of our Spine Devil, but the Devil's holding out still strong. I mean, I really don't deal with devils, but demons are doing some monkey business. Heyo! Nice. All right, end of round 7. We move into round 8 here. This is going to be fun for analytics later on. We go to the top of the round with Thawsgozag, who is attacking the Balgura, excuse me. And we go in for the tail swipe. And the tail swipe, ooh, did it miss? It did miss with a 13, unfortunately, and 2 claw swipes. First claw swipe hits with a 17, dealing 6 points of damage. Oh, we're almost at bloodied state here for our Balgura. But luckily for the Balgura, we get no bloodied state this turn. Moving on to the Balgura's turn, Tog. We will switch attacks, and the Barbed Devil is next to be hit. Let's see here. Go for 1 bite attack, and that misses. And 2 fisty boy attacks. Oh, another miss. And an 18 hits, connecting for 5 points of damage. Not much is going on here, folks. But we do go back to our aerial battles, and let's see if our Spined Devil can do any work. Alright. Wrong target. Okay. First attack being the bite. Let's see what happens here. This aerial combat is neck and neck. This is a miss, unfortunately, with the bite. Will the fork attack do anything? Oh, no. Both attacks as the Vrock, deftly dodges and moves out of the way of the Spined Devil's attacks. And we finish off round 8 with Zalmuk trying to finish off this pesky little devil here. Literally. Alright, going in and switching its tactics, going with the beak attack first. We have a 16 to hit, and it looks like our Spine Devil is officially defeated and falls to the ground. Plop. And just bam against the pipes. Bunch of bones break. It's not really, really cute. Pretty terrible. And we're going to move this Kazmi out of the way as the Vrock comes flying down to finish off the multi-attack here. And goes in to flank the Barbed Devil. And attacks with his talons as he comes... Oh, did I not hit it? Yes. Oh, that's the problem. There we go. Target that. And Talon attack. At advantage. 15 to hit. For a total of 14 points of damage. Thaz is not in a good state right now. Not in a good state. He is now flanked. He is the last of the devils left. As we need to update our scorecard up here. We have 3 devils KO, 2 demons KO. Let's see what happens at the top of round 9. This could be the last round, folks. Let's see what happens. Thawsgozag is first to go. Tog has a devil on his shoulder right now. Very true. Very, very true. Okay. Thaz is going to, since Zalmuk is so battered and beaten, wants to get rid of Zalmuk first, is going to go for the, not talons, silly me, the tail swipe against Zalmuk to try and finish him off. 16 to hit base. This does hit for a total of 11 points of damage. Does not beat Zalmuk, though. Zalmuk has a few hit points left. With a claw swipe, Thaz is trying to desperately finish off Zalmuk with a hit of 15, wounds and defeats Zalmuk. Zalmuk flew in trying to help his demon buddy out, but unfortunately has fallen unconscious as well. They're pretty much on top of each other. Okay. And then Thaz turns his attention to Tog and goes in for that last claw swipe attack, trying to desperately win the favor of the fire elementals here. Dealing 5 points of damage, wounding Tog. Tog, it's unfortunate he doesn't have a rage effect, but you know what? He can, in fact, go reckless. And considering that Thaz is critically wounded and pretty much on death's doors, Tog is going to do just that. He's going to go reckless. Okay, let me pull up reckless here. And for Tog's turn, Tog just opens up the fury and starts to beat his chest and goes in for a couple attacks on Thaz, as Thaz is now kind of scared that this guy is getting, this massive demon is getting advantage on the attacks. 18 to hit, total of 25, 9 points of damage, almost defeating Thaz. We're almost there, folks. One more fist attack. Will it do it? No, does not do it with a miss. Can the second fist and last fist attack do it? Otherwise, Thaz gets one more shot at this. Thaz is hit for 6 points of damage and is barely holding on. That is the end of round 9. We go back to the top of round 10 here. This is just blows for blows we're looking at here, people. This is obscene. Okay. Switching the targets off. As the fire elementals are cheering in the background. Reckless, I was hoping for that. Yes, indeed. We'll see what happens now, because Tog gambled and it didn't pay off. He was hoping to defeat Thawz in one round here, but now Thawz gets the advantage as well. And we are going for Tail Strike. And let's see what we get here. Oh, that's a hit for a 16 to hit, 9 points of damage, and 2 claw attacks. We got a 16, total 22 to hit with a 6 points of damage. We're getting there close. This Barb Devil's doing work. 17 to hit, 8 more points of damage. Oh, goodness. We are at Tog's turn in the round 10 of this insane Devils vs. Demons battle. Tog is still standing and can see that Thawz is barely standing as well. We're going to go one more round of Reckless here, see what happens. It may be a poor choice, but at this point, the Balgura is more or less in a frenzied state, we could say. And he's going to target Thawz and hopefully defeat him finally. And we are going to go for the bite attack. Can Tog's bite do anything? No, the bite misses as Thawz moves, even as wounded as he is. Missing the attack, goes in for 2 slams. Maybe he can counter those misses, and does with an 18 base to hit, dealing 9 points of damage and defeating our Barbed Devil finally. The demons have successfully won, thanks primarily to our Kazmi doing loads of critical work and damage here, and the victor is our Balgura, somehow recklessly beating and just slamming over and over again on Thawz's now dead and departing body, as all of the unconscious and dead devils and demons depart this fire realm and go back to their realms in the abyss and the levels of hell and wherever they have come from. As we can see here, this was a pretty decent match. I'm really surprised at how well this worked out. Pretty close, even with all the extra attack and action economy, but our demons succeeded and were victorious here. So let me just update some stuff here. We should have had 3 demons KO'd. Forgot to update that. And we had 4 devils KO'd. The demons were victorious. Yes, Banana Salama. All right. Nail-biter ending. That was for sure nail-biter ending. I wasn't sure who was going to pull this victory off because, you know, with how little damage our Balgura was doing against the Barb Devil and how much damage the Barb Devil was doing against the Balgura, I was really shocked. But honestly, the MVP was the Kazmi here, Zurag. Zurag did so much work, especially with a critical hit against Algren at one point, doing like 74 points of damage in, I think maybe it was round 5 or something. That was insane. Well, I don't have really much else to report here or talk about. Post analytics here. There will be a podcast episode if you're curious to see how this all worked out, my thoughts on the match, and anything else going on. There is a post analysis game for the Orcs versus Kobolds from last week's episode. That is in the show's description. You can get to that from the description for the Anchor podcast if you'd like to listen to that. There will be a follow-up, as I said, post-game analysis as well on that podcast if you'd like to see the total damage, the total percentages hit for each round, the overall total damages and such, and maybe any other thoughts I can think about. But I thank you all for joining me. This has been a lot of fun and a lot longer than I expected it to go. Considering the Orcs versus Kobolds battle was only like 25 minutes, we've run a good hour and 20 minutes for this one. So thank you all so much for joining me on this monster versus monster game of demons and devils here. And it's good to know that, you know, the demons just barely won out. The devils did some pretty good work too. And as I stated before, this was a total CR battle of 18 points versus 18 points. So CR-wise, this was an even matched game, even though some monsters were barely doing any damage versus others. Thank you for joining Soak Soccer. It was pleasant. It was a pleasure having you and everyone else here. Mr. Spazbomb, thank you. The Hair Doctor, thank you. Clawpaw and Josian as well, if you're still hanging out. There was also Koala Squad Animations and some D&D lover that stopped by to watch this silliness unfold. This is me, Andrew. Thanking you all so much for joining me. You've all been awesome. And this is me always, as always, asking the question, are your encounters even rated? thank you all for stopping by and watching, and stop by next Monday when we do another one of these. What will it be? I don't know. We're working that out still. But we'll do another Monster vs. Monster next week with another post-analysis podcast episode coming up shortly thereafter. So stay tuned for that, any announcements. And if you'd like to see the podcast link, that will be on here later on and also in my Discord channel. So if you want to get that info and get the podcast episode right away, come join the Discord. The link is pinned up top in the channel here. And otherwise, thank you all so much for joining. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you Friday for CR Exposed night's live stream. Night, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are, and see you next time.